Hey guys, I occasionally get the question, why do loan servicing companies hold the funds that we get from a borrower slash buyer before we disperse those funds out to the seller slash lender? And I know what you're thinking. You're wrong. A common assumption is that us, the servicers, the brokers, must be getting interest on that money, and that is not correct. In fact, there is a business and professions code. It is 10145D, and that says that interest earned on our client's money cannot in any way, directly or indirectly, benefit us. And that's even if each and every one of you signed off on it and agreed to it. Not going to happen. So that's one of the things that regulators look for when they do unannounced audits, what our CPAs do on a quarterly basis when they prepare our regulatory reports. So to help explain why we do this, I'm going to cover 3 different rules that we've got to follow. I'll give you a little more information to consider. And I think that at the end of all this, you'll see why this is in fact for your benefit and why these regulations and rules exist. So on to rule number 1. We have to deposit the funds that we receive in a timely manner into our client trust account. And we do that. We do it same day. Shows up on your online activity, bingo, same day, real time. Number 2, you have to maintain supporting documentation, like a ledger, right? The ins, the outs, the deposits, the disbursements. We do that. It's another thing that's audited. That helps keep track of whose money's coming and going, right? Now, big one. On a monthly basis, we must reconcile our client trust account, and the amount in that account must have equaled the amount owed to all of you at all times. Key point, every penny in there must be accounted for, not an overage, not an underage. And these underage? These regulations go on to say that we can only disperse funds when we know that doing so will not result in a negative balance to the account. It says that we must, this is a little difficult, I'll cover a little bit more about this later, but we must ensure that a check deposited into our client trust account has cleared before we disperse those funds against that check. Again, 50,000 transactions a month, a little difficult to check every single check. Now, a trust account overage is addressed in BP code section 10176, I believe, and that's called commingling. That's when I have my money in the same account with you guys. Can't happen, can be fined, can lose our license, etc. Now, this is the scarier one, a shortage. A trust fund shortage is covered under Regulation 2832, and that's considered, I would imagine, at least negligence, maybe even embezzlement. I don't look good in orange. I don't want to be wearing orange jumpsuits. So I want to stay away from anything that sounds kind of like embezzle-ish or Bernie Madoff-ish. I want to be compliant. I want you guys to get the money that you're expecting when you're expecting it, clear expectations. We want to stay in business. So we're going to follow regulations. We're going to be cautious. We do put a hold on all kinds of deposits that we get from the clients. That includes ACH and cashier's checks. Why ACH and cashier's checks? I'll tell you. Because they can be recalled as well. An ACH payment can be recalled for up to 60 days, I believe, if it's a consumer, maybe less if it's a business. Cashier's checks can be canceled up to the point that we've actually cashed it, and the money's in our account. It happens. It's not always happening, but it happens. We also want to keep your costs down. So even if every client was okay with us taking that gamble with their money, right? Somebody's money's not going to be there when the music stops. Because if we're doing 50,000 transactions a month and 99% of those payments clear, we're still becoming collection agents to 500 plus people that we're supposed to be collecting for, not from. Again, 500 people. We're supposed to be collecting payments for them. Now we're collecting payments for them and we're trying to collect payments from them. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of your money for us to be doing that. We'd rather be working on answering your phone calls, your borrowers' phone calls, preventing problems, coming up with more efficient ways to do what we do, working on keeping our costs down, and again, making sure that all of your money is in that account when you need it. I hope you guys understand. It's a regulatory requirement, not just best practices, not just something that we choose to do arbitrarily. And while I can't possibly guarantee that every single payment that comes in has cleared before we send those funds out, remember from earlier, we got to ensure that that happens. We have learned that 99.99% of those checks that do bounce, we find that out on or before day 8. That's why we hold these funds for 8 calendar days. And I get it. If you're waiting for those payments, those checks to come to you in the mail, it could mean that you're not getting that check for 10 to 12 days after your borrower has paid. I get it. The best I can suggest is try ACH. It's quick. It's a lot safer than checks. They float around in the mail. They get lost. You got to take them to the bank anyway. Consider ACH. Now, I'll give you a little tidbit of trivia. Servicing agents are allowed 30 days to disperse funds out to you guys, to our clients. Multi-lender loans, it's 25 days. I don't know why. That's maybe for another video, another story, some other day. But it's 25 to 30 days that we have to have that money out to you. And I understand you're not ecstatic about waiting a little while for these funds. But I do hope you understand that we're doing this so that we can stay in business, we can stay compliant, we can stay focused on what's most important, and that you know your money is safe. Okay? If you do have questions about this, Google client trust accounts before you pick up the phone and give me a call and tell me how unhappy you are about it. Rewatch this video. But if you do want to talk, you can give us a call at 877-DEL-TORO. Again, 877-DEL-TORO. That's 335-8676. So guys, before I let you go, I appreciate you paying attention, listening through this. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end before you picked up the phone and gave us a call. That's why I waited until the end of the video to give you our phone number. But this is something that's really important. I'll always try and bring you videos and clips and newsletters or things on how we can all work together to better support our industry, support our team, your team, support our community. And this is just one of those things that it just makes good business sense. And I want us to be focusing on how to do positives, prevent things, get more opportunity. So one last time, if you have any questions, you have any issues, pick up the phone. You can give a call, 877-DEL-TORO, 335-8676. Until next time, thanks for hanging out. Talk to you in a bit. Cheers.